And good morning, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day to you. It is a Friday, the 14th, or it may be Monday, the 17th, because we are not here on Monday in lieu of President's Day. So if you tune in on Monday, it's this program that you're going to be seeing. So it's either Friday or Monday. It's up to you. However, on our show today, we have Manuel Armendariz. He is on the United Board, going to give us an update mainly about landscape. He oversees that committee. Also, Richard Palmer will be here with the Tea Party Sentinels. Their meeting comes up in a week from Monday. I think it's the 24th. Wellness in the Woods, Leslie Coretti is having a Mind Boosters event coming up, and also Sterling Financial Advisors with Dan Ohlweiler. Now, there are no meetings until Tuesday, so we don't need to tell you about those. So let's get into the weather, and as I've been saying, we have just had some really nice weather. Unfortunately, we could use some rain, maybe at the end of next week. There's a possibility of that right now, but that could change. It's a small possibility. But really going forward, a little bit of fog out there this morning, but overall, we're going to be staying right, hovering, upper 60s, 70, 71 degrees, all the way into at least Tuesday of next week. Wednesday, we'll start to see those temperatures drop, and as I said, next Thursday, right now, it's a very slight chance of some rain, but we could use it. In fact, they've been talking about we're at the Sierras are about 58% of normal. So unfortunately, we could be looking at another slight drought condition coming up this year if we don't get rain coming up fairly soon. Let's take a look around the state this weekend. Fairly mild everywhere you go. Up in the North Coast, that's Eureka. They could get a little light rain this weekend. Shouldn't be too much. But everywhere else, really, again, mid-February, it is very mild weather. Palm Springs going to look like about 80 degrees this weekend. Big Bear, 53. Even up in the Sierras, Tahoe, Mammoth, when you see they're in the 50s in mid-February, that is pretty darn mild for them. And as I said, everywhere else is looking pretty good. We'll see about next week if we get any rain towards the end of next week. Would be nice, but right now it's just a slight little chance. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Hey Laguna Woods, it's Ken.
And Lisa.
Did you miss an episode of This Day? Not to worry. Head over to youtube.com and search Village Television.
Here you can find each episode of This Day and other community programs such as Good Day OC, Discovering Laguna Woods, and much more.
Just click the red subscribe button, then click the bell to be emailed every time we upload a video.
Don't miss out.
And subscribe today.
In a land of hopes and dreams lived a luxury lifestyle consultant with spectacular taste. One day he thought, I'll show lottery winners how to live like a millionaire.
I'm gonna cry. This is beautiful.
Pinch me. He scoured the land looking for the home of their dreams, which he slayed. So the families could live in plenty and live fabulously ever after.
All new My Lottery Dream Home, Friday night at 9 on HGTV.
Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From a delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
Hi, I'm Vince Ferragamo. I spent some of my best years as an NFL quarterback, but today I've got a new team, and we're helping seniors who spent their best years fighting for our country, defending our freedom, and informing the nation. Our hometown heroes need help. AgeWell Senior Services is their lifeline. Nonprofit AgeWell can do all of this because you care enough to give. Please join me in supporting AgeWell. Donate today.
Welcome back. Well, today from the United Board, we have Manuel Armendariz. He oversees their landscape committee, and I'd like to welcome on, and love the bow tie.
Well, thank you, Ken. Good to see you again.
He said I faked him out because I didn't wear one today,
Right,
but
you
sorry
sure did.
about that. Nice to see you.
Yeah, I always enjoy your attire when I watch you on TV.
Well, thank you. Landscape is one of those ever-changing situations, because unlike certain projects, you can finish them and they're done for maybe years and years and years. Landscape changes every day and needs to be attended to every day. And there's a lot of different things that I know you and the other boards look at when it comes different ways to do things. So one of them, you look at the different qualities of service, how often things need to be done, and the trees need to be trimmed, and that's certainly on your mind and your committee's mind.
Yes, very much, very true.
Yeah.
I'd say that landscaping is an area that's very easy to be critical about, because you see that every day, you live with it all the time. But the new department head, Kurt Weeman, had headed the architectural controls and he's very talented. And he's come aboard and he's made a lot of improvements. There's 5 or 6 major ones that I can think of.
Yeah.
For instance, we used to be on a 34-month cycle for the tree trimming, where it required inspecting the trees to see their condition. And now we've changed to a 5-year trimming of the trees by species. And so that is going to be a much more efficient way. And there's some trees that require trimming once a year, some 2, and some as long as 5. He also has become a little more proactive as tree removals. And in the past, we didn't remove trees hardly at all unless they were deceased.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we find that, for example, the solar program, they need to be trimmed more often to make sure the sunlight gets to them. And also there are reasons for removal, such as if they're enhancing on the manor itself, some of the structure or some of the sidewalks. Another area he's improved is the maintenance of the shrubs. We eliminated Roundup last year after he did a study of that.
Yeah.
The original estimate on that was that it was going to cost $200,000 more per year for United. It is only costing $15,000 a year more.
So that's a good improvement.
And in addition to that, we did a survey of the creek, because both United and GRF are involved in that. And now we know who's responsible for what portion of the creek in Aliso Park.
Yeah, that's something they've always been contested.
Right.
Which belongs there.
Right. And they just cleaned it up and did a great job on that.
Yeah.
So those are a lot of improvements that I can think of that are pretty significant to the village.
Right. And you mentioned, sometimes you got to take down trees. I've had to do that where I live, and even though it might be a nice viable tree, well, we had one next to our house, Norfolk pine, and it was beautiful. But guess what? Whoever planted it there didn't realize that the scale of that would be overwhelming for the home. So unfortunately, we had to take it down. No matter, it looked fantastic, it was healthy, but the roots were getting into things and all that. So unfortunately, that's part of landscape.
Yes.
It's always changing. So what are things that you think that some of the residents can do to help improve things?
That's a good question, and there are ways. We recently changed our yellow stake program, and we're fortunate that we still have that in United. Third has eliminated that program, and that allowed the member to do some plantings right next to his unit. And it was somewhat informal, because all that was required was for him to go to the office downstairs, resident services, and get yellow stakes and put them in. But what we found is that there were abuses to it. So now we formalized it, and now we require that they fill out a form. And that form needs to be also signed off by the neighbors.
Right.
And submitted to the landscape department. And then they'll take a look at the plans, and if they conform to the plants that there are allowed, then it goes to the committee for approval and then to the board. So it's very formalized now. And even with the old program, when they do their own plantings, and some of the allowed things are dwarf trees and vegetables, they're required to maintain that.
Yes, yes.
So the way a resident can help, of course, is to maintain it constantly, because they can hire somebody to do it for them, or they can do it themselves. But from time to time, rodent problems get reported to us. And we find that part of the problem is droppings from the trees,
Yes.
dwarf trees,
Yeah.
fruits, and some of the vegetables that aren't picked up. So here, a resident should maintain his area and should make sure that they pick up either fruit or pick the vegetables, so that area helps to eliminate those rodents. So the other thing is that if they have a problem or they're not satisfied with certain performance of the service, they should report it first by getting a landscape form and submitting it to landscaping. And that way, and they've gotten very good, landscape department has gotten very good on following up on those things.
Yes.
So those are ways that the members can help to improve the service that they're getting.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, especially if they have a small fruit tree, they have to really maintain that. And I don't know if there's restrictions on the type of fruit tree, whatever it might be, if it can be citrus or peaches or whatever it might be. I don't know that.
There is. Usually they're either dwarf lemon trees or orange trees.
Right.
I'm not exactly sure at this moment. I know there's a list of plants that are allowed, but as far as the trees, they would have to find that out from landscaping.
Okay,
But
and
those are good points
that's
you make.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even different types of fruit trees attract different kinds of varmints that come in.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that for sure. What about, we've heard the staffing shortage within landscape. I think that's true throughout the area, throughout Orange County.
Yes. Kurt Weeman, like I said, we took over from PCM, the management of the community here. And we've had 3 different department heads.
Yes,
over
that's
that.
right.
And our most recent one, Kurt, started about a year ago. They took him out of architecture, moved over to landscaping. And as part of the change in the tree trimming program, we've contracted out, beginning this year in 2020, about 1/3 of those trees. And just in United, just in that mutual, there's over 15,000 trees and 236 different species.
Wow. Yeah.
So that means that over a 5-year period, they're doing between 3,000 and 4,000 trees per year.
Yeah, that's
And so
incredible.
about 1/3 of that has been contracted out. Also, part of the slope maintenance has been contracted out, and part of the ground shrubbery maintenance has been contracted out. So last year in the budget, there was a requirement for 149 employees because of the contracting the work out, and Kurt has been able to do that. Like for the tree trimming, he claims it's at a lesser cost than if we had employees doing it internally. So now he's been able to spread those workers out to different assignments now. And at the present time, we've been short in the past somewhere between 11 to 15 employees. He's closed that gap down to where we're only short 2 or 3 employees.
Oh, that's great.
So he's made great strides there.
Yeah, that's fantastic. What about coming up this year? Any certain projects you want to talk about?
Yes, there are. This one should please the residents a lot. I know I'm happy about it. In early spring, like April, he has a plan to cut the lawn areas way down because presently there's a lot of thatch buildup.
Right, yes.
And when he cuts it way down, it's going to look pretty ugly for a while. But then he's also going to do some aeration, and that's where they poke the holes in there and they pull out the ground like that. With
the little clumps.
Yeah, little. You see that? And then after he does that, they're going to overseed and the whole area and plant it. So by early summer, I'd say June, we should have some pretty good looking lawns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you said, there'll be a month or so, they're not going to be looking very good.
No.
That's part of it. Yeah.
In connection with that, one other thing that I've asked Kurt to look at, we'll be starting to work on the business plan for 2021 in May. And so I've asked him to come up with 2 budgets. One is if they continue to do everything the way they presently are, and the other one is to come up with a budget on what if we went back to having the lawn mowing done with catchers attached to the lawn mowing equipment. Because that would help a lot, I think, with the cleanup. Because even though the recommended way to do it is the way we do it now, because the theory is that, that clippings fall between the existing grass left. which helps with moisture and helps with fertilizing. Because of the pine needle droppings and the leaves and all that, there's too many times when all that stuff just lays on the top. So if they use catchers, I think that would improve a lot. Then the other thing that's coming up is that there's about 6 areas where they're going to remove lawn areas. They call it turf reduction. And that's because some of it is on slopes and it's difficult to mow, and also it requires more water. So that'll be a benefit. And when they're in the planning stage right now, when the designs are completed, Kurt will be presenting that to the community, so they'll know where the work's going to be done, how soon it's going to be done, and what it's going to look like.
Okay. So once again, you know, like we were saying, it's never ending when it comes to landscape. And we all know this, and you know, we get to the point where you're never 100% satisfied. I know when I go out and look at my yard, people tend to see, including myself, what's wrong with it, not what's right with it. But it's something that always has to be maintained. Yeah. And every few years, you have to look at it differently. Right. Maybe the way things are changed, or the way things are growing, drought conditions, whatever it might be. You always have to adjust when it comes to landscaping.
Absolutely. And Kurt and his assistant, Eve Morton, they're doing a great job. And I want to take a little liberty here, since it's Valentine's Day, to wish a happy Valentine's Day to all the ladies that are out there in the audience. And there was a lady in particular that's very important to me, Christine Armendariz. I love you, sweetheart. Have a good day.
Very nice. Well, thank you very much. Always good to see you, Manny.
Thank you, Ken.
Take care.
A pleasure.
Next time we'll get together on our tie selections.
Thank
all
you.
Right. We'll be right back. We'll get you unhooked. Just wait. Hold.
I'm a strong believer that there's something for everyone out there. But some people never stop searching. I've looked long and hard through these parts, and I thank my lucky stars I stumbled across a special place, a unique place, where you never know what you'll find. The Trading Post, only on Channel 6.
I've been coming here since about 1995, 25 years. When it comes to medicine, you have 3 choices. They either give you chemicals, or they cut your body, give you surgery, or you can do something about your body where you heal yourself from inside out. You reach a point of no return where you really want to end it all, because you cannot take that depression and that anxiety. That's not life. I don't think there's anybody in the world doing what he is doing. It'll only help you, and then you can phase to whatever part of your life you want to phase.
Call today for your free phone consultation.
Jewelry Box. It's about trust.
Do you buy gold?
Yes, we do.
Do you buy diamond rings?
We do.
Do you buy watches?
We do.
Do you buy silver?
We do.
Do you buy these?
Yes, we do.
Gold, diamonds, jewelry, or sterling silver. The Jewelry Box of Lake Forest makes it easy to get top dollar for your treasures. No appointment necessary. Simply come in and walk out with money for your valuables.
Whether it's one ring or an entire estate,
we buy it all.
Hi, it's Desiree from Irvine Subaru, where families come first. As a family-ran dealership, your family's safety is our #1 priority. Come in and find the perfect Subaru from the largest selection of Subarus in Orange County. All models are top safety picks by the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety. We offer the ideal balance of safety, performance, and economy. Irvine Subaru, more Subarus, more safety, more performance, more love.
Your body is made for work, play, and adventure. All the things that make life amazing. But when pain gets in the way, turn to Hoag Orthopedic Institute to get you back to doing the things you love. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, we're experts at getting you out of pain and back to golf, running, or yoga. Whatever makes you, you.
With me right now is Richard Palmer, and coming up on February 24th will be their meeting of the Tea Party Sentinels, and that's a week from this coming Monday, just to make sure you know. That's out at Clubhouse 7. And this time around, you're having a guest. I think it's a return guest, right? William
Absolutely.
Sinclair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Bill Sinclair is, he's one of the best speakers we ever had, and I just enjoy having him come back. Everybody looks forward to his meetings because he's so knowledgeable about so many things. It's just amazing. In fact, I saw him recently with Paul Ortiz until in the studio he was shooting.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, but I turned the sound all the way up on my computer and it still wasn't very loud. So the sound, I noticed of certain programs, the sound isn't very good.
Yeah, I don't remember. You said he was on our show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that.
Yeah, just recently. But I wanted to photograph one of his meetings, but he says no, he'd rather not be photographed. So I was really surprised that he allowed to be photographed.
So he's been a speaker with you folks a few times, right?
Oh yeah, he's just an amazing guy. I mean, I just can't get over the breadth of and the extent of his knowledge about worldly affairs.
Yeah.
So it's especially right now, there's so much chaos going on in the political scene right now. We went through Shift with all his lies and stuff, and and now we're getting into. Well, let me talk about Bill first before I get into politics.
He's been in looks at the banking industry for years.
Oh yeah, he was there for 40 years. He was actually a naval officer in Washington, D.C. during the Vietnam War. And so he finally got out of that business and he started lecturing. He was at Northwestern University teaching them worldly affairs.
Yeah, yeah.
And now he's at Sylvester Center here teaching political science. So he's up to date on everything, and especially on these trade deals. You know, with Trump is really fighting with China and Iran, and Korea and North Korea. So I think a lot of people have a lot of questions they want to ask him, but he's just an amazing guy. And now the whole political scene is changing again.
Yeah.
Because, sorry about that.
That's all right.
Sorry. The whole political scene is changing now with Bloomberg in the scene.
Right, yeah, interesting.
So,
yeah.
I mean, this is really, so now Trump's got another fight on its hands, but Bloomberg has some real serious complications in his life because he has a lot of interest in China. And what people are worried about right now, he's going to undo everything that Trump is trying to accomplish with China, North Korea, and Iran. He's going to affect them all. So this is going to be a real serious election coming up.
Yeah, it will be, yeah.
But I hope, I know he's going to bring a lot of information and people will begin to understand, because a lot of people don't, you know, they say, yeah, we got problems with China, but he has heavy financial interest in China, so he's not going to give that up.
Right, right.
So we're in for a real ride.
So this is something that Bill Sinclair is going to talk about at your meeting, among other things.
Well, how can he avoid it? I mean, this is. I mean, the process for selecting the Democratic leaders is really in question right now. There's so much conflict right now.
There is, yeah.
So, but this is a new issue, and you know, Bloomberg can pour as much money as he wants to, and I know the Chinese are going to be dumping a lot of money into his campaign. So,
well, this is very similar to opposite, but 4 years ago, remember with Republicans, there were 16 Republicans running at one time. I think at the start of the very first primary, something like that.
Yeah,
it was very similar.
That's right.
and they were all in turmoil. So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. So anyway, this election coming up is going to be really important.
Yeah.
There's a lot at stake, and people don't really understand what's at stake. You know, they think it's just a normal conflict between parties, but it has some very, very delirious effects if it goes back to the Democrats.
Yeah.
So
Well, we'll see what happens, and you know, you never know, as we've seen in the past, what could come of it. And it's as far as the Democrats go, and they'll be the first to admit it. It's wait and see. A lot of them, you know, we've seen they're all over.
Well, I don't know.
They're all different choices and different views, and it's quite interesting to follow.
Yeah, I know, but all these the Democrats that are, you know, one by one they're leaving because they don't have the money to stay in.
Yeah.
But how do they feel about Bloomberg stepping in and wiping out all their efforts?
Well, we certainly know how Bernie Sanders feels. I don't know about the other ones. But.
Well, no, Bernie Sanders is another one. I mean,
but it's fun to follow. I think it's fun to follow, just like it was 4 years ago with the Republicans. It was kind of like.
I know, but everything that Trump wanted to accomplish, he did. Most all everything he wanted. So
we should mention that again. Your meeting is the 24th. Yeah.
Right.
And not this Monday.
Right.
The following Monday.
Yeah, that's right.
The usual, as it's at Clubhouse 7. It begins at 7. Doors open at 6:30. Everyone is welcomed.
Oh yeah.
And as far as getting a hold of you, somebody can at patriot@teapartysentinels.com if they want to do that. The website is teapartysentinels.com as well. A good speaker. You know, this guy is with his involvement in different, the banking industry and all kinds of different things.
But he's got his thumb on everything.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just an amazing guy. I mean, I was so happy that he would accept our invitation to be our speaker, especially right now.
Right.
This is really a critical time, and a lot of people and there's so much going on with the election. They changed everything. I mean, there's so much confusion.
Well, as I said, for me, it's kind of fun to watch. I think it's like a a game going on. But if you want to join in on this, Richard wants everyone to be there. It doesn't matter what your political persuasion is, because you all get to come there and ask questions and hear a speaker, and you never know what you're going to find out. So yeah,
I know a lot of candidates are really trying to come, but we have a certain. In fact, we're releasing a selection of people who to vote for. And so that's going to be controversial too, because. Especially for the Congress.
Yes, yeah.
We're pushing for Greg Rass.
Yeah. Well, again, people are welcome to come to your meeting, and you always have this once a month. I think maybe in December you don't. You get great guests, and I know you were saying sometimes it's hard to get people to come and speak just because of the way their schedules are or whatever it might be.
Yeah, I was hoping that somebody from the administration would be able to come, but they're all back east.
Yes.
So, but I hope that in this election that Trump does come out. I think he will.
Yeah.
I was hoping that he would in the last election, but we're on the West Coast.
Yeah, a little hard.
And so we got our own problems with recalls for our governor.
Anything else you want to add? Any other upcoming speakers you know of that you're going to be having it? Have you scheduled?
Not right now.
Okay.
We're still working on speakers.
Because I know often you'll schedule several months out if you can.
Well, I try, but it's really hard to...
Yeah, hard to get people to commit.
Yeah, because somebody may just show up. People, we try.
Yeah.
I mean, it's frustrating, but we're very pleased with who we get.
Yeah.
So.
Richard, it's always good to see you.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You take care, and we'll be right back.
I certainly will. Thank you.
There's never quite enough time. We try to make the most of it, to find more of it, to cherish each and every moment. At Memorial Care, we value your time. So we're bringing more locations closer to you. Because having award-winning physicians in your own neighborhood means getting to appointments faster and enjoying a healthier life. We're here, with care where you need it.
At Diane's Hallmark, we're ready for Valentine's Day. Are you? Come in and see our great selection of cards and gifts. We have everything you need to show that special someone how much you care. And don't forget those grandkids either. Diane's Hallmark has many cards and gifts for them as well. Diane's Hallmark is located in the Marketplace Center, right next to Hobby Lobby. We have something for everyone. Come in today and take care of all your Valentine's Day needs.
Before the next earthquake, take 30 seconds to refresh your memory about these important disaster preparedness tips. Make a family emergency plan. Decide how you'll get in touch with each other, where you'll go, and what you'll do in an emergency. Build a disaster supply kit with enough water, food, and emergency supplies to last at least 3 days. It's important to have disaster supply kits for work, cars, and pets too. Find and fix items in your home that might hurt someone by moving, breaking, or falling during an earthquake. Know how to react safely when the ground shakes. If you're inside, stay there. Remember to drop, cover, and hold on. Drop down onto your hands and knees and cover your head and neck with your arms to protect yourself from falling objects. If you can move safely, crawl under a sturdy desk or table and hold on to one of the legs until the shaking stops. After an earthquake, help people who are hurt or trapped. Call 911 for emergencies only. Check your home for damage, including gas or water leaks, damaged wiring, or downed power lines. Protect your family and your home by making a plan, building a kit, and practicing disaster drills at least twice a year. Be sure to visit readyoc.org for more information on emergency preparedness and alertoc.com to sign up for emergency alerts and notifications. We want you to be prepared for a disaster just as much as you do.
Jacobson McCall have created Agent 55, a real estate firm focused on 55-plus communities.
Agent 55 and the marketing technology allows us to deliver even more to buyers and sellers.
Everyone respects Kelly's over 30 years experience as a top sales producer and trusted expert within 55-plus communities.
Agent 55 has great knowledge of Laguna Woods.
Agent 55 offers something powerful and unique. We guarantee it. Ask us how.
Well, Leslie Coretti is here, and of course, she is with Wellness in the Woods, among other things. And today we're talking about a Mind Booster course that's going to be coming up, a 4-week course designed to help you keep your mind active. And we'd like to have you on and talk about all your different things, because you do so much.
Oh, thank you, Ken. You know, I appreciate the opportunity, but let me tell you, it is one of the most talked about things in the village right now, is the brain.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do with it, and what it's happening with it, and how we can prolong it. And I mean, it just seems like everyone is so interested. So this is the 3rd year that we've done this course. It is amazing because you learn so much. And every single week, it's a 4-week course, as you said, and every single week we learn different things, and we have professional doctors that speak. So the first week we're going to be talking about memory loss and maintaining your skills and, you know, how to keep the floodgates closed.
Right. Yeah. Very important.
Yeah, it's very important. And, you know, then as we go on, the first week is a neurologist, and you will not believe some of the things that we will learn. I mean, everybody talks about Alzheimer's, but they didn't know that there's 50 other different methods of having dementia.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so it's very exciting. The cost of the event is only $35 per person for all 4 weeks, and I'm trying to get Mother's Market to help with some healthy food.
Oh, that would be nice.
You know, so they had said yes, they would love to do that. So.
Very good.
You know, it won't increase our cost in any way, but it will actually just be that little extra touch of niceness for the community.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go on and talk about superfoods and a nutritionist and, oh my God.
All kinds of different things.
Yes, yes.
And I want to mention before I forget, although it is on the screen behind
Yes.
us, which we didn't notice before, but this is in March.
Yes.
And you can see Saturdays, same time, same place. So every Saturday in March at Clubhouse 7 at 9 o'clock till noon.
Right, right.
Yeah, so it makes it very easy.
Yeah, it makes it easy for us to, you know where it is. Most of our main events are at Clubhouse 7. And
you even have on one of these, week 3, cognitive tools for mental health resources.
Yes.
Which is fantastic.
Yes.
And then the final one is legal issues and
Yes.
planning for the future, which is important.
Yes, yes. We have an attorney who specializes for seniors. And as I said, I have done this a couple of times.
Who's coming in for that?
This one.
The elder law attorney.
Yeah, the elder. She is Faye.
Faye Banks.
Yes,
yeah, I know
yes,
Faye.
Yes.
She's
Faye.
excellent.
She is excellent.
Yes, I do know her.
And some of the things that she tells us are so simple.
Yeah.
That nobody else ever talks about.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
She knows how to get all the little pieces of paper in order.
Yes.
You know, so that everything is done
That'll
properly.
Yeah. That'll be that's worth the price right there.
Yeah, just talking to Faye is worth.
Or just seeing Leslie is worth the price. But.
No, it's going to be a great way to end
really
the course.
Nice.
Yes, and also the exercise. We have another person coming in, and we will learn how to do exercises at home that are easy and no stress, relieve stress, and get a workout without leaving your chair.
Yeah, and you know what's easy nowadays? There are people who have their phones or their tablets or anything like that.
Yes.
And there's so many things that you can download for free that help you with your mind.
Yes.
Different kinds of puzzles and things like that. And it's really kind of a neat thing.
Yes, it
that
is.
is there. And you can, anytime you want to engage your mind and learn something new, even if it's very simplistic, it helps.
Yes, and you are so right. It's always about learning something new, because otherwise we just get stagnant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same way with exercise. I mean, you don't have to run a marathon.
No.
You just have to walk, around the corner.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. So if people want to sign up for this, they can register by contacting you,
Yes.
Leslie Coretti at yahoo.com, and then call you at 949-209-8846.
Right.
And do this soon, even though it comes up on not until March 7th. That's like about 3 weeks from now, but still, sign up.
Yeah,
so
there
she
is
has a
limited
number.
space available.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that people are seated properly, that we have, enough brochures, because we will give information for every single session. We'll give a packet of information so people do not have to write every single word down, because we'll actually give slides of all of the doctors, what they're talking about. So we want to make sure that the packets are made so that everyone has, completed information.
Very good. You do a lot of good stuff. I kid her a lot because she does trade. Do I ever kid you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she does the trading post with Annie on Thursdays. But you really do a lot.
Well, it's after my mom passed, I realized the importance of keeping your health.
Yeah.
And so I'm just an advocate for actually just being prepared.
Yeah. Simple as that.
Just simple as that. Yeah.
Very good. Good to see you. I know I'll see you next
Ken.
Thursday, I think.
Yes, I'll be here.
Yes, barely. She'll barely make it, but we know. Good to see you, Leslie, as always. You take care.
Ken. Thanks.
We'll be right back.
#1 choice for wood flooring and more is LA Carpet.
Now during their 2-day sale, visit their showroom now and get 65% off wood flooring, laminate, and waterproof flooring.
Plus, get 5-year, 0% financing.
Carpet, #1 for you.
Welcome back. Well, with me today is Dan Oweiler. He is, of course, the president of Sterling Financial Advisors.
Whatever that means.
Well, that's how you're listed anyway, you know. Chief cook and bottle washer.
There you go.
There.
Dump the trash.
Yeah. Well, you know, today we're going to be talking about Social Security. And, of course, you know, this is the time of the year. Of course, people are looking at their Medicare programs. But also, this is the time of the year that it's always suggested by our friend Jeffrey Rodriguez of course, Social Security.
Right.
To look at you can go online, obviously, to My Social Security and kind of look at where you're at and change things and whatever you need to do.
Historically, when they started Social Security back in the 1940s, you know, it wasn't meant to be a catch-all retirement program.
Right.
It was supposed to supplement those people that maybe hadn't saved enough or anything like that. You know, now it's become very important. I think we have a slide that shows how many people are now claiming
this
Social
Security. This is what we're having here. And I put a line around 1940 just so people. I have a question here. If there was a mistake, you put the word trust on here associated with the government. That seems a little. Was that a mistake?
They'll never touch the Social Security Trust Fund, right?
Right. But you know, this really shows look at the ratio. That's really the most important thing. The ratio of workers.
Almost 160 workers for every person on Social Security.
Yeah.
That obviously changed as the baby boomer generation started to retire. You know, we have 80,000 of us retiring every year for the next decade, 80 million going on it. And so not only that, but the workforce is shrinking. So the the ratio is really dropping significantly, where last year it was at 2.8 workers for every one person on Social Security. Well, you know, that actually impacts, they estimate that the Social Security system's supposed to run out in 2035.
Right.
Unless they do something, which they will, you know, I mean, they're not going to, but most of those changes probably more than likely will not affect those that are currently on Social Security.
Yeah.
It's those that are coming up.
Right.
Okay, and there's a lot of different options in those changes. And I think we have a slide that talks about that.
Yeah.
You know, and so
in the next slide, it shows, I know one of them that raising the age of eligibility, and if we could show the next slide, this will come up. This is the one that's talked about the most because, let's face it, it's the easiest.
Right.
And it doesn't cost anything, really.
Well, really what they should do, when I say eligibility, you know, you can start taking Social Security at age 62.
Yeah.
If they would move that
right.
to 65, so when you're eligible for Medicare, you can get Social Security.
Yeah.
That would significantly impact the viability of the trust fund.
Right, right.
And so, you know, you don't necessarily, you know, when they first started, Social Security was, you were eligible at 65.
Yeah.
Then it went to 66. Mm-hmm. Now it's 67 for those that are born after, you know, 50. I think it's 1959 or 7 or something like that.
Right. Yes. 59. Yeah.
And so it's 67. Well, that will probably go up as well. Mm-hmm. It'll probably go to age 68 and then 69 or mm-hmm. 70. Mm-hmm. But that's going to affect your children and my children. Right. You know, when it comes time. But if they could change that eligibility rule for 62, maybe to 65, that would have a significant increase.
Yeah.
You know, and that in and of itself, you know, might affect some of the people now, but they would grandfather all those who are currently on
mm-hmm.
it.
And the interesting thing about that is taking early Social Security, they also limit you on what you can earn throughout
Correct.
the year without being penalized.
Correct.
So in a way, it's this double-edged sword. You're going to take money from the government early, and yet you're not going to be putting money back into the government
right.
because if you make over, I think it's $17,500, something
as a
like
single,
that, you're going to be penalized. Not just taxed,
right.
but penalized.
Well, they're going to take some of your Social Security
right.
away.
So,
like you said, we're talking about the government.
Right.
Not always logical in what some of the things they do. you know.
Right.
But they're going to have to do something, because if they don't, you're going to have a complete collapse of the Social
and that
Security
would be
system.
something that said we're not going to allow this
Right.
maybe a year earlier or something. That
Secondly, an increased Social Security tax on workers, that would, that would obviously not go over well with the working class, or employers. But if they raised it 0.5% or whatever, that would also. There's probably going to be a combination of all of these things that they were going to implement.
Yeah.
Okay. Increased Social Security tax on income limit. I mean, you could.
That's right.
You could say, okay, anything over and above. I think it's 123,000 right now. Then you don't pay anything.
Right. You pay up to that level.
Up to that level.
Yeah.
Well, if they would increase that and say 150 or 175,000, that would also be okay. And because you're paying that anyway, it's just that you're not maxing out.
Yeah.
So those are some options. And the final one, limit cost of living adjustments. Well, that wouldn't go over very well with those that are receiving.
Right.
But
and a need-based eligibility. Well, on the other hand, if you've paid into this for 40 quarters and beyond, you're like, wait a second, you don't get to determine if I need it or not. That's for me.
It was my money, and so just because I've done well in life and I'm making $400,000 a year, I shouldn't get it. Well, that's a philosophical difference between, maybe those on the left and those on the right. It's what they call redistribution of wealth. Take from the rich and distribute it to the poor, and that can be a viable part of our overall philosophy in government. But they're going to say, well, if you're who's the person for Berkshire Hathaway? I can't.
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. Yeah. Warren Buffett doesn't need Social Security, but he did pay into the system all that time.
Right.
Okay. Right. So philosophically, you can understand why they don't get it, but at the same time, it's my money that I put into this system.
Right.
So if they would let us take that money and put it into our IRA, I'd be much better off.
Yeah.
But they don't do that. But I think that somewhere down the line, they're going to have to come up with probably a combination of all these things. The cost of living adjustment, over the last, I think, 10 years or so has been around 2.8. Now, it doesn't seem like that, but over the last...
And this year, it's 1.5.
Yeah, it was down this year.
And you're kind of like, where do they get that from?
Right.
The cost of living has gone up more than...
The nice thing is they exclude food and gas and all that other stuff that counts that we pay for every year. But the Social Security system was never meant to be your primary retirement. And people, unfortunately, I think half of the recipients, that's the only income they get in retirement. And so they do need to do something in that regard.
Right.
So it's an ongoing debate as to what they're going to do, but the odds are most of the time it's going to affect those that haven't yet claimed Social Security, the workers and things like that. If they adjust the cost of living a little bit less, that'll affect
well,
some.
I can see, like you said, I think a combination of raising the eligibility or just getting rid of the 62 type option.
Right.
Increasing the tax, nobody wants to increase tax, but suppose like for us workers, it's only, $20 extra a month. Let's just say that's all it is. That could make a huge difference over time.
Oh, absolutely.
And then definitely, I do agree, on the income limit because, this is one instance where I'll say people making that kind of money, if they're still paying the social, they're not going to even notice it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the $125,000 limit, and then you don't pay anymore. Just open that up and just say that.
And right there.
Exactly. I think that would be the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
But Congress is never popular when they increase anybody's taxes.
Right. That's true. All right. Well, you know what? Dan can help you out. Maybe not so much in your the taxes and stuff. Well,
we can help with taxes.
Well, you can.
Yeah.
And you can, when it comes to Social Security, it's something that Dan can help you out really looking at, maybe how to
one of
move stuff
we
around
do our
and all.
seminars, and people will ask questions at our seminars. They'll write them down so we can maybe answer them. One of probably the most common question that we get is, when's the best time to start taking Social Security?
Yeah.
That's probably the #1 question. And there isn't a right time.
Yeah.
I've recommended to people that start taking it at age 62 because they don't have enough income coming in.
Yeah.
And they need that money to pay their income. I've recommended some to wait till age 70 because they have other assets.
Yeah.
It's not a right or wrong question. It's just that what's the needs for that individual at this time, and maybe you can wait till age 66 or whatever it is. But I've recommended in some of our plans for people to start taking 60 at age 62 simply because they don't have enough income.
Yeah.
So it's not a right or wrong question is when's the best time to take it. If we have other means that we can delay that, Social Security goes up at 8% a year.
Yeah.
So anyway.
All right, give Dan a call, and if you you may get his.
My gosh.
Is this weekly? I always forget, 'cause I get
we
this. I
probably
always
send that
forget.
out once a month.
Yeah, so you can get the newsletter that you get on here, and if you're lucky, you may even see our video on here that he puts up. So
I put from time to time.
So what I do is I go home and I watch myself all over again. That's kind of nice. So there we are.
You need to get a life, Ken.
Yeah. All right. Hey, thank you, sir, very much.
Good to see you.
All right.
All right.
Have a good Halloween, and we'll be back.
All right.
Hi, I'm John Bowser Bauman. You probably know me best as Bowser from Sha-Na-Na, but I'm also president of Social Security Works PAC. And when I'm in Laguna Woods, I always watch Village Television. Grease for peace.
Our movie coming up today, Friday, is the Walt Disney classic Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This came out in the late 1930s, and it was Walt Disney's very first animated feature, and something that they really took a big risk when they did, because this was never done before. Everything before this were just short cartoons, 7 minutes or so. This was the first feature-length animated movie, and it went on to win a Special Academy Award and really became one of the most beloved and popular movies of all time. You all know the story about Snow White, who was the stepdaughter to the evil queen and gets banished and basically finds her way to this cottage in the woods where the Seven Dwarfs lives. A great music, of course, is still popular today, and this will be today at 2 o'clock and at 7 o'clock. Now on Monday, that will be our Monday movie will be Patch Adams, and Patch Adams is starring Robin Williams. This is based on a true story of a gentleman named Hunter Patch Adams, determined to become a medical doctor because he enjoys helping people. He ventured where no other doctor ventured before, using humor to help heal the people he was attending to. And really good movie. That came out, in 1998. Robin Williams, of course, starred in this, Monica Potter, Daniel London, and just a really good movie. So that will be on Monday, and then, of course, as I said, we're repeating this program on Monday. So if you're watching us on Monday, that will be today. So there you are. A couple of things I'd like to tell you about that are coming up. On February 19th, the African American History Month will be celebrated over at the City of Laguna Woods. There'll be a special presentation, a Clear Vision Poetry Jam, and it will take place from 5 until 7 o'clock. You're all invited to go there. They'll have special food and other fun as well. Space is limited. We are going to be showing that on Channel 3. That is the City Council's channel. So actually, they'll be showing their City Council meeting that day at 2 o'clock, and then from 5 to 7 o'clock, this will also be shown live, and then we'll repeat it on a few other days as well. So they do ask if you could call RSVP so they know how much food to have and how much space. Please call them at 949 949-639-0500. And that, again, is going to be on Wednesday, February 19th. So a great celebration over there. And one more thing I want to tell you about, Frankie Avalon is coming to the Performing Arts Center on March 7th. Not too far away, and these type of things really sell out. So get a hold of the Recreation Department. Go over to the Performing Arts Center. Tickets are available there, and find out about the cost. I don't have the cost of these tickets, but these things do sell out quick. So get your tickets soon. It's only going to be one performance that night. All right, let's talk about the weather. And a little bit of fog out there this morning, which was nice. Not too much, more haze than anything else. But going forward, we are just going to be sticking with this same weather pretty much, couple degrees difference. That's going to be about it. So sunny and mild. And Monday and Tuesday, some offshore winds are possible. Not until the end of next week, there's a very slight chance of rain. We'll see how that plays out. That would be at the end of next week. Here we are, the state. Around the state this weekend is, for again, mid-February. Like it or not, it's pretty mild out, and we would like to see, especially in the Sierras, we would like to see not scattered clouds, we'd like to see snow. We really do need that, but this is the case. This is what it is right now. Maybe a little light rain up in Eureka, but everywhere else, fairly mild for February. All right, we will see you the next time on Tuesday. You have a great Valentine's Day if you're watching us on Friday, a great weekend, or a great Monday, whatever the case may be. Take care.